Hey everyone, it's the manga viewer, and oh my god, the latest chapter definitely hit us all hard. I mean, Deku's actions, people telling me on Twitter, like, yo, just break down the chapter, tell us what's going to happen, and there's a lot of things to cover. Okay, so basically, I want to tell you that this is a spoiler video, so if you aren't caught up with the manga, proceed with your own caution, you have been warned, and if you like my content, feel free to join the channel. Thank you guys so much for the latest 40 people that joined my channel. It's growing like really fast, and I'm really happy for that. Thank you guys so much. But anyway, let's break down the chapter. So basically, we saw that Deku actually woke up. They didn't show us exactly what happened. They just kind of show us like All Might coming out of the room and he having Best Genius and Hawk talk with them and explaining one for all and what's going on with all of that, right? And we saw the latest page of the chapter, actually Deku doing a Batman pose, which was really cool. And also there was a cool thing that made a lot of people scared, is that Horikoshi Sensei's comments on the Jump, the magazine. He said that the final act begins, which is the name of also the chapter, and the story is concluding soon, so that made a lot of people think that My Hero Academia is doing like the final pages of it. Well, let me break down this for you. Okay, so why did Deku left UA? It's not just because of One For All. My theory is that the second and the third user of One For All actually talked with him, and their talk actually made Deku go out of UA. They might explain like, yo, this thing happened with us. They might explain like their backstory, or like they might explain that when you wake up, you have to do this, for example. And don't forget that not only Deku is out, Deku and All Might are also out. They are both out from the UA school. So what's going to happen next? Well, we saw the latest page that Deku is doing a Batman pose, as I said, and there's like a big villain approaching, kind of like a parallel for the first chapter. So who could this big villain be, right? Well, let me break this down for you. About a month or something have passed since the war arc begins. Why is that? In March, they actually started like going through the hospital and arresting the villains, and the war arc began. And after like a month or so, in April, Deku is doing the Batman pose, and he's saying a big villain approaching, and he have like a really dead eye, sad pose sort of thing. So what's happening this time? Well, we still see the bandages on Deku's arms, so that means that he's still unhealed from the injuries. My thing is, I think that Deku have unlocked the second and the third user quirk, and we won't be able to see it until he gets into action. I think he might going to attack the villain, which might be Yantomakia, for example, or he might be the first villain that actually went into the first chapter, which was, arrested and kicked out by Mount Lady and Kamui Woods. So I think that might be the villain, or it might be Gigantomakia. Also, in case you're wondering about Principal Nizu and what did he mean by alumnus, it's basically the name of the UA school. When he said it's a request by alumnus, it's basically the UA school. Just want to remind you that. What are we going to see the next chapter? I think it's going to be the month, or like the month and a half, or like the less of the month that passed in this time of Deku. I think I think might have been because he lost someone close to him, and it's not All Might. I don't think All Might like died or something. If All Might like died or something in this time, I think they would have showed it, and I don't think Horikoshi Sensei is this just like to kill off characters. I don't think that's the case. So I'm thinking that we are going to see what happened in that time, and like in this month time. Another cool thing to think about is that maybe you will see the side of the villains as how they are thinking and what they are going to do. Maybe we will see like Deku actually flashing back to the month, or like the things that happened to him in this month, and then go back to the villain and kick some ass on him or something. I think that's what's going to happen. Also, another cool thing to think about is that what we are seeing with Deku is a really cool move by Horikoshi. I know it's a bit risky since Deku is, a lovable character, he's an enjoyable character, he's a peaceful character in general, and seeing him doing this dead eye thing scares me a lot, actually. And at the same time, it's a great character development for him. And why is that? It's him going solo. It's him seeing how like the world have become. It's the look of someone who have lost something precious, or doesn't like have a meaning or something of life. I think something like that. It's someone who's like lost hope, I guess. it have a lot of meaning in it and have a lot of depth in it. You know, when you see someone having a dead eye, especially in anime, it means that someone have lost a really close person to him. I hope it's not All Might, because I don't want All Might to die. You know me. All Might is my favorite character. But yeah, I think that's wraps up most of the theories that I want to talk about today. What could UA do, or what could have happened in this month, and why did we shift into this month specifically? I'm telling you, it's probably going to be a one-for-all thing. It's probably going to be like All Might and Deku just like teaming up and training together. I think that will be a really cool parallel between them. Maybe Deku will defeat the villain and then they will move on to a forest or something and keep training. Maybe they will, train in a different city. Maybe they will go to the US. I think that's a really cool theory. If they go to the US and maybe there, Deku will practice or like train his quirks a bit more, but I think that's a bit far theory, since I don't think Deku is the kind to leave like problems with him or like problems behind him and just run off to another distance. So yeah, I think that wraps up the whole theories that I want to say. And don't forget, that's just a theory, so if it goes wrong, it's totally possible. And feel free to talk about yours as well. I love hearing your theories and talking about them together. I hope you guys have enjoyed this video. And if you like my content, feel free to join the channel. And I have been the Manga Viewer, and I will see you all next time.